Hey, how's it going, guys? It's Scarecrow. Welcome back to another Black Ops 4 video, and today I wanted to talk about Black Ops 4 itself and give you my opinions on the state of the game and how I feel about the game in general. Now, as you guys will tell from the title, I don't think Black Ops 4 is great. I think it's good, but I don't think it's great. And I'm going to spend the next little bit explaining my reasoning behind this. I just want to preface this video by saying, of course, if you think that Black Ops 4 is the best Call of Duty ever made and you absolutely love it, and none of these principles apply to you, then I don't really know why you're watching this video or clicked on it in the first place, because if you're trying to find reasons for me to change your mind, well, this probably isn't going to be it, because these are all based on my general opinions, so the door's that way, feel free to leave. But if you are tempted to stay, I promise that I will come at this as reasonable as possible and not just, I hate this because it's bad kind of reasoning, which really doesn't actually help any conversations about anything. So yeah, I've been playing Call of Duty since 2013, so I have a little bit of experience with the Call of Duty franchise. I'm not the biggest OG fan from all the way back in 2008, obviously, but I know my way around a COD game. I've played them every single year since 2013, and I've played all those games for most of their life cycle. I was lucky enough to get into Call of Duty at the stage where it was still kind of innocent. Back in 2013, we got Call of Duty Ghosts, and while that game had a mixed reception, a lot of people now look back fondly on that game compared to recent Call of Duties, just because of how simple it was compared to all of the modern trickery that Activision, Treyarch, and all of the modern devs have added into their games. But today we're focusing on Black Ops 4. So, what do I mean by it's not great? Well, first of all, let's start with the time to kill. I like what they were going for when they were trying to mix it up a bit, and the time to kill isn't something that I would have considered. It's a bit out of the box, and I'm not trying to discredit them for trying to think outside the box, because that's how you create new experiences. I think they were at least going in the right direction. If you're going to make a change to a formula that is years old, it can be hard, but I give them props for at least trying. I really don't think that it paid off, however. The time to kill in Call of Duty has always fluctuated a little bit, but not too much, with Treyarch having the longer time to kill, I think, Sledgehammer somewhere in the middle, and then you have the insta-melts of Infinity Ward, who seem to like their games very, very Twitch shooter-like. And I don't think that having a higher time to kill benefits the game. It doesn't make it more tactical, quote unquote, which is how I feel a lot of this game is marketed, or how people defend the time to killers. It's more tactical, you know, you have to plan and consider your actions and stuff like that, and that's not COD. COD's never been tactical, COD will never be tactical, and the more you try to make COD tactical, the more removed you are from the actual core of the game. Call of Duty, at its heart, and the thing that it should always be, is a Twitch arena shooter that rewards quick reflexes, map knowledge, spawn knowledge, and general FPS knowledge. Call of Duty is not a game where you should rely on teammates, where you should rely on your specialist abilities, or on your weapons. It's purely a game where knowing what you're doing and how to do it trumps everything else. If you are just good at FPS shooters, but you don't know anything about COD, you don't know how the maps are laid out, you don't know where the spawns are and stuff like that, you're not going to play as well as someone who knows the ways around the map, knows where to stay, where to not, where to push, where to go, when to, you know, bait teammates, when to not, just the general ins and out of a Call of Duty. Call of Duty's gimmick is that it's easy to pick up but difficult to master. You know, anyone can get a couple kills, but getting 30 kills in a row is a lot more difficult, and something that people that play COD are always striving for. It's an everlasting cycle to get better at the game, and the only way you get better at the game is by learning the game, and that's obviously by playtime. Adding a higher time to kill is supposed to make the game more tactical, but what it does is it actually ties you down. It ties you to your teammates, it ties you to your weapon choices, and it ties you to your specialist choices, all of which are very much removed from what I think the core values of Call of Duty should be. If I wanted a game where I can rely on teammates, or I'm supposed to rely on teammates, I'll go and play Battlefield. Battlefield games have always set a precedent for squad gameplay, for being able to rely on teammates in spirit. I realize that that isn't always the case, but that's a whole system in Battlefield. You have a system set up for teammates and winning together as a team. In Call of Duty, it's much more about the singular players that make up the whole. And when I myself am tied to the performance of my teammates, no matter how good and no matter how bad, I think that's a bad thing. Because 9 times out of 10, and any Call of Duty player will tell you this, that your teammates can't be relied upon. And for me, this all stems back to the time to kill. If I push 3 enemies in any other Call of Duty game, I'm confident to kill them. I'm confident that in my gun skill and in my map knowledge and in my game knowledge, I can kill them. But in this game, all of that flies out the window. In the time that it takes for me to kill 1 to 2 enemies, that's at least half of a magazine of a lot of weapons in the game, factoring in the amount of times you'll miss and yada yada yada, flinch and get shot off target. Even the most blind, stupid, ridiculously dumb enemies in the game will have time to react to you and hit you a couple times, and if there's 4 of them, even the most simple-minded Call of Duty players will have a chance to kill you. I know that you feel it, everyone that's played has felt it. It is ridiculously hard to get multi-kills in this game, and it is ridiculously hard to carry your teammates if they are not up to your skill level or above. I feel like in this game, I'm not rewarded for playing solo. I'm not rewarded if my team isn't up to scratch. If my team has no idea what they're doing and is just running around willy-nilly, then I can't win. In other games, I could go up against a 4-man party of good players and feel confident at least that I have a chance to kill them. But in this game, all it takes is for 2 of those enemies to stick together and they would kill me every single time. Yeah, I don't like the time to kill in this game. I think that that's something that shouldn't really be trifled with. The studios have a pretty good balance in the time to kill of their weapons and stuff like that. That's not something that really needs to be changed. Up next, the big one, of course, the specialists. I hate specialists. I don't think that they have any place in Call of Duty ever. Having power weapons in a Call of Duty game is about as stupid as everyone on a battlefield having a nuclear weapon in their back pocket. It's such a dumb idea, and I hate the fact that it's gotten so popular, and I hate the fact that the devs refuse to listen to community feedback when it comes to these characters. You guys know the complaints, you know what I'm gonna say. It's never fun to go up against someone that has a specialist weapon or a specialist ability because it immediately puts you at a disadvantage. It immediately puts you at a disadvantage no matter what weapon you have. If they have Gravity Spike, a Purifier, a Tempest, if they have an Annihilator, if they have Heat Wave, if they have a Flashbang, if they have a Shield, if they have a Dog, if they have Trip Mines, any of that stuff, you are at a disadvantage, and 9 times out of 10, they will kill you. The only way that you can escape that situation is luck, or if the enemy has absolutely no idea what they're doing or no idea how to click a button or to press a sequence of buttons. That is the only way that you outlive those situations. And in a game where most people know how to play, or at least actually know how to press buttons, well, you can put two together. So in Black Ops 4, that is the main reason why I don't actually care if I live or die. I don't actually care if I go on long streaks or not, because I'm always expecting to die at any moment in the game. I never feel safe. I never feel like I am in control of the situation. I always feel like at any given moment there could be a shock drone coming around the corner. There could be a gravity spike right around the next corner, a purifier just waiting for me to walk through that doorway. And no matter how good I am, no matter how quick my reflexes are, no matter how perfect my aim is, there is nothing I can do to counter them. I hate the fact that Black Ops 4 has made me choose specific things for my classes to enjoy the game. I now run cold-blooded on every single one of my classes because I refuse to get shock droned any longer. The amount of times that this little spawn of the devil has gotten me killed, I can't even count, and so I just run cold-blooded on everything. It puts me at a disadvantage in gunfights because I can't react as quickly, and it puts me at a disadvantage because I can't create such interesting classes or toy around with that perk creator slot. But at the same time, I hate getting shock droned. I absolutely hate it. Nothing feels worse to me, so I just refuse to let that happen to me anymore, and that blocks off that part of a creator slot. That is the way that specialists force you to play. They force you to be able to counter them, and you can't really counter them. So I feel like I'm dead if I try, I'm dead if I don't. In a competitive multiplayer shooter, you should not be able to kill someone or engage someone in a fight that they can't actually win. Up next we have map design. To be honest, I like a lot of the themes that they have going with the maps, and I like the fact that some of the maps are a little bit unorthodox. I really like Icebreaker, the fact that it's a 3-lane map done differently, and the middle lane is the lane that not a lot of people go to. I like the fact that that map is done a little differently and it has different areas. I like the fact that a lot of the maps have different elevations and you have differing sightlines, but I hate the fact that they still feel the goddamn same. Why is it that Treyarch cannot create maps that feel different? They all feel like they're exactly the same size. They all feel like I'm having the same gunfights in the same places every single time. Maybe because I am. I hate the fact that there's only 1 or 2 maps in the game that I can realistically get a long shot. What happened to the days of long maps that were weird shapes? Even if they were bad, I don't care. If they were big maps that had weird shapes and little areas that nobody went to. What if you had huge maps and small maps and medium-sized maps and maps that were tall and maps that were flat and maps that were triangular? Like, Think about it. Infinity Ward with the Modern Warfare series had some really weird maps. Black Ops 2 had some really interesting and varied maps. Even Advanced Warfare had some really memorable, vibrant, interesting maps. Like the amount of maps where you could die by falling off areas, or you could access different areas through different stages of maps and stuff like that, or they had kill streaks specific to a map. It just made the game interesting. Whereas Black Ops 3, it just feels like I'm playing the same map every single time that I load it. It's really hard to play for long extended sessions because I feel like I've done it all, and I did it all 3 years ago on Black Ops 3. Treyarch really needs to approach how they make maps differently. Not every map has to be like some grand maze, sure, but not every map has to be made inside of a tuna can with 3 lanes. I don't have a problem with gun balance. I think that this year they've done pretty good with the gun balance. I do think they could have had more guns. Why this year do we have like half the guns that we normally have in any other Call of Duty? A lot of categories have been dumbed down. We have 1 launcher this year. We have like 3 pistols. Like, where are all the guns going? Why are you taking out guns instead of giving us more? I don't care if you give us more. It is never a bad thing to give us more stuff to fool around with. Sure, in previous games you could say that there are guns that perform similar and it's hard to differentiate, but I mean, look at Battlefield. Battlefield always has a crap ton of guns. Somehow they find a way to differentiate them all. And yet in this game, it just feels like I've played with every weapon in the game already and I'm kind of bored of them. I feel like there's just one specific gun for one specific role and that's it. If you want to play that role, then you have to use that gun. Otherwise, there's no real playing around. Sure, we have operator mods which improve the gun and make them a bit more fun, but not every gun has an operator mod. So again, if I want to run around and have a hipfire only mod for a gun, it only is available on 1 gun. I'm waiting for the day when COD just goes nuts again, when we get so many maps and so many weapons and just like crazy amount of perks and lethals and tacticals, just, you know, has fun with the series again, instead of just adhering to this crazy culture of what they think fun is, which is stupid specialists, bland maps, and weird gimmicks. To summarize, Call of Duty Black Ops 4 is not great. It is a good Call of Duty, it is a solid Call of Duty that I can sit down and play quite happily, but it does have issues, obviously, like any other Call of Duty, and I struggle to find enthusiasm to really grind it like I have previous years. Previous years have done really well at retaining my attention, and this year I really don't care as much, really, to be honest. The whole battle pass scenario, sure, it's better in my opinion than having RNG loot boxes, but at the same time it just feels so unrewarding. I literally don't care one little bit what my specialist character is wearing. I really don't care. Like, sure, the cosmetics on the weapons look fine, but there's only a couple of them. If they were giving out cosmetics left and right, I might care what my gun looks like. But for me to have to sit down and grind for a specific variant of a gun that changes how it looks, just, I'm not interested. For me to grind 30 hours to unlock one weapon that may or may not be good that I might like, it doesn't interest me as much. Going back to 2013 and Call of Duty Ghosts. Call of Duty Ghosts had a very dark aesthetic and it was a very dreary Call of Duty. But one thing I really enjoyed in that game was going through the cosmetic items, picking out what I wanted my character to look like, and then going towards achieving it. I could say, right, I like the way that this headgear looks. What have I got to do to unlock it? Aha, there's this specific challenge. Let's go ahead and try and unlock that. So I'd spend an hour or so trying to unlock a headgear that I liked, a chest piece that I liked, just pants that I liked. If I wanted to actually go towards the cosmetics, I could achieve it how I want. Not play a battle pass that throws at me skins that I just really don't care about. This isn't Fortnite where the Fortnite skins actually look good and you spend a lot of the time appreciating them. No, this is Call of Duty where you play in a first person mode and you spend 95% of the time looking past your gun. We don't sit there looking at our hands and going, oh, the detail of texture of these finger models is fantastic. And I mean, who actually emotes in Call of Duty? Who's sitting in spawn emoting over and over going, wow, look at this, I love the fact that I can now dab in Call of Duty. I love it, been waiting years for this. So yeah, that's my opinion on Black Ops 4. Let me know what you guys think down below. Do you love the game? Do you hate it? Are you playing it? Are you not playing it? Let me know all of that important stuff down in the comment section below. Anyway guys, thank you guys so much for watching. If you have enjoyed, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more, and I shall see you, beautiful people, in the next video.